I'm going to give you 5 pieces of recent news regarding Hedera that I truly believe will move the price of Hedera. So I've done Hedera updates. I talk about it all the time, as well as many other cryptos. I'm Brian. I'm a big dumb animal. Don't do what I do. Informational purposes only. That's my disclaimer. We all look at whether it be Solana, Sui, whichever, ICP, you name it. You can follow their social media. You can follow the PR that comes out. You can follow some of the developers, and you can learn all the different things that are changing within any one of those ecosystems. However, let's just say that at the moment, we're all looking for a bull run, and we all want to see that the cryptos we've invested in, or the ones we're thinking of investing in, actually have news and changes that will move the price in, let's just say, the short term. Granted, if you're making technical changes, maybe you're making something faster, maybe you're helping developers in some way, we could all make the argument that over time that will help the price move. More people will use it, that sort of thing. Okay, but I'm talking about 5 things that I think are going to help the price in the very short term in this bull run. Okay, I'm going to talk about those 5 things. And then at the end, we're going to talk about a pricing prediction. It's someone else's prediction. I'll show you some of mine I had in the past. We'll look at theirs because theirs is astronomical. It blew me away. I thought, okay, if Hedera really hits that price, everyone always thinks, what would I do? I'll tell you what I would do. Hair transplant. And not the tiny little hair plugs either. I'm going to go full on 80s style rock heavy metal band, blonde past the shoulder implants, where my friends are like, hey, come on over. We're watching the game. Everyone's here. We got food, you name it. And then I'll come fashionably late, throw open the door, bust in, throw back my long blonde hair, and all I'm going to say is Hedera. And everyone's going to look at me like, who's that? Hedera. What is that? Is that like an 80s rock band? Who is this guy? That's going to be me, 100%, if it hits the pricing at the end. 5 things I think are going to really move the price. First, let's talk about this one. This one was all over social media, actually brought to my attention by Matthew, who watches my show and is also in my school community. If you want to learn about crypto, take courses, and get into the community, I have one called Crypto School, link down below. I'll talk about it at the very end. But Grayscale here has multiple funds. And in the funds, they have various cryptos. This particular one, they call it their Grayscale Smart Contract Fund. And they have, as you can see here, 6 of them. Hedera is in it. They sometimes rebalance, and meaning they might take some out and put some in. There was one called DOT. It was removed. You can see here on the Grayscale site, they say DOT was removed and Hedera was brought in. So 5.8% of this fund is Hedera. That's a big deal. So 2 things about it. Here's the first thing. Look who's in it. Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Sui, AVAX, Hedera. By market cap, Ethereum, here we are in the list, number 2. We've got Cardano, then we have Solana, then we have Cardano, then we have Sui, then we have Avalanche, and Hedera just moved up right behind Avalanche. Now, those 2 are close in market cap, but look at fully diluted. Fully diluted is a very different story. Hedera is 8 billion. Avalanche is 13. Okay, so it's 5 more. That's pretty substantial. It's almost twice as big. But look at Sui. Sui's 30 billion, which is like 4x what Hedera is fully diluted. Pop up to Cardano's the same. Solana's 100 billion. So it's in good company. The other thing that I find fascinating is this is a fund of smart contract platforms. In other words, I'm guessing what they're saying is they believe these are the best platforms for smart contracts. And one could make the argument that crypto doesn't have much if it's not programmable. So therefore, without smart contracts, do we lose like 80% of the value of crypto? Meaning this is the foundational layer on which everything is built. This is hugely important. So the world is seeing, and by the world, I really mean not these guys like myself, no offense to some of you, but institutional investors, hedge funds, you name it. This is what they're looking at. They're seeing this, and this company says it's one of the top 6. And they didn't just say it. They sold all of DOT, and they put it all into Hedera. That's a big deal. All right, the next one, ETFs. Now, Canary Capital, I bring them up. They've got an HBAR trust, but what we really want to see is an ETF on the US exchange, which is a spot ETF, meaning for every dollar invested, except for some of the management fees. But basically every dollar invested, a dollar's worth of the underlying asset has to be purchased, which is Hedera. And there are a lot of big money players that can't go out and just buy individual cryptos. They have to buy them through something like an ETF. And they're stuck at the moment with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Two great things to buy, but that's kind of it. So there are a handful, let's just say maybe 10 or 15 various crypto ETFs that have been applied for. Hedera is one of them. Canary did it first, I think of November 2024. The other two are Grayscale and 21 shares for spot Hedera ETFs been filed. We're waiting for that response. It was recently pushed back to, I believe, September 9th as to when they would give an answer. Of course, they can push that back again. However, I think October 21st is the dead date, like the last possible date they could decide. I don't see anything that's going to hold these up. I think they will all come out, and let's just hope it comes out in perfect time for a potential bull run, because this could bring in a lot of capital, and it's capital that will be purchasing. And I am just going to say, in my opinion, most people buying ETFs aren't trading them. And if they're large investors, they're grabbing them and they're holding them. That's just my opinion. That helps tremendously when those are coming, let's just call it off the market. Third thing, an exchange called Kraken. This post, it's not an official Hedera, but it's someone who posts Hedera information. And they pointed out that Kraken is one of the last, they call it, top 5 exchanges missing. In other words, Hedera is on all the big exchanges. Kraken, and I looked up a list. I think they may have listed as number 3 in the top 10. But that's a huge deal. Going live July 10th. I'm recording this on the 9th. I think I'm going to show it on the 11th, helping my sons move. I'll be out of pocket, so I'm scheduling this the day after. So it should be live. Now, this was interesting. I thought even Kraken themselves, with 1.6 million followers, posted this, which is Lehman Bird with those laser eyes. All roads lead to Hedera. I think that's a big deal. All right, now, that was the third thing. Fourth thing, Kevin O'Leary. Let's listen in to Mr. O'Leary.
On that one, most underrated crypto project right now.
Oh, that's interesting. I would have to say, but I'm talking my book here. I think HBAR is going to be big. I really do.
HBAR, that's one in our portfolio as well. And we're
I own it, so I have to disclose that. But I think it's going to be big.
Okay, and look what I put up here. As we all know, or you may not, I don't know if you watch this, there's that show called Shark Tank. But he's a successful entrepreneur. That's how he got on the show. Successful investor before Shark Tank and during. He's been on many shows, and he is constantly in the U.S. media for various reasons, but often for financial. Shark Tank celebrity, and I say for all the right reasons. I think this guy's excellent, and he said he personally owns it. He had to disclaim that, and he thinks it's going to be big. To me, that is a big deal. To have, let's just call him a celebrity within the financial arena, so to speak. It's a big deal to have someone like that come out and give it a little more notoriety. All right, next, the fifth thing. Now, this one is called MetalPay, and they added Hedera on MetalPay. So I looked them up. What are they? You go to their website. They have a decent following, and they tell you they've got an app that you can hook up to your debit card, credit card, that sort of thing. And they tell you how you can buy Hedera. They're trying to make it easy. It's in the US, Australia, and New Zealand. But if you go under buy crypto, they've only got 4, 3, 12, 5, 17 cryptos that you can buy. And Hedera is one of them. So in terms of things that will move the Hedera price, I don't know how many people use this app, but what I'm trying to point out with this one is that when these new apps and things are coming out and people are trying to make it easier for someone to purchase crypto. Now, this isn't a self-custody wallet, but I think you can hook it up to something else. But bottom line is, for the average person, if they can just go download because they're friends like myself, and I tell all my buddies, buy Hedera. And a long time ago, I had to explain this convoluted way of actually getting yourself some. It was ridiculous. Now I can say, hey, just go over to Coinbase, sign up and buy it. Or check out this little app here, hook it up to your credit card or debit card while we're watching the game, click and buy Hedera. If you can take out all the steps to purchase any asset, this is great for the entire crypto market. But I wanted to point out, new app, they chose Hedera as one of the top ones, and they only have 17. Hedera is one of the 17. Now let's talk about the pricing I wanted to get to. This individual, I think it's Steph is Crypto. Excellent. I like to follow his stuff. Puts a lot of posts, technical analysis type stuff. Anyway, he's got it going to $5. Now, you see here, I did a video a while ago saying Hedera is at 4 cents. You should buy it. Not too long after that, I did one that I said, hey, I think there are some reasons and fundamental reasons why Hedera can get up to $2.80. That video was a while ago. Now we're seeing more and more people with the thought that it could go even higher. Now, those are the 5 things I wanted to point out. That's the pricing prediction. One last thing I want to say is, and I did a market update on Monday, the total market minus Bitcoin, the total market minus Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're all moving in the right direction. We're seeing a lot of technical signs like buying pressure and the MACD and other things and moving averages crossing that looks like they're ready to break to the upside. Then we're looking at Bitcoin dominance. That hasn't quite fallen yet. But if we look at things like Hedera and others, the individual crypto, it hasn't really moved there yet. This morning, and again, it's July 9th when I woke up and I saw that Hedera had jumped up in price. I think, let me refresh this. I think it was at 17 cents when I woke up. Now it's 0.169. But first thing I like to do for all of the crypto that I own, and I own way too many, so I'm not just trying to promote this particular one, the 24-hour, the 7-day percent. You know, you roll down here and you look at some of these gains and you get to something. Look at Stellar, 24%. Hedera, 12%. While many other ones were like 2, 5, 6. Now, the farther you go down, the smaller the market cap, the more likely they might have a larger gain. But my point is this. Here's an analogy. You go to the horse races. Every horse that's racing around the track is going to get to the end line. That's how I think about crypto. I think all of these cryptos, minus a handful, are going to go up in price if we go into a bull run. Great. Everyone's going to be happy. Everyone's going to say they're right. But what do you really care about? What you really care about is that your horse is not number 1, 2, or 3. They're all going to get to the finish line. They're all going to go up to price. We just want the ones that will appreciate the most. So when you see a lot of my videos, sometimes I talk about individual ones, or I did a whole group in just AI and I compared ones to one another. I even compared like XRP and XLM. And the point is not this one's better than that one. I'm trying to figure out which one is going to accelerate the most. I said, hey, I think XLM is going to gain more percentage-wise and make you more money than XRP. That's all I was saying. I didn't say one was right or wrong. Look at this. That was a week ago or more. Stellar's up 24% on the 7-day. XRP's up 7%. So just in the last week, that came to fruition. This one went up more. Is XRP making money and going up? Yeah, went up. Did Stellar go up? Yeah. Stellar went up even more. So that's the point. It's all about opportunity cost. That was it. That was my update on Hedera. Please listen to this quick discussion about my school community. So if you want to join, there's a link down below. Thanks for watching. And I always say, I hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto. And please do take a look at my crypto school. It does have a monthly fee, but there's a group of people in there. We talk every day about individual cryptos. We have discussions. And then I have courses on great detail into whatever it may be, putting crypto into an IRA, opening a particular wallet, moving money between wallets, how to buy on an exchange, you name it. I put a lot of time into it, and I'm developing new courses all the time. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I hope this was helpful.